Hi, and welcome to a new series of videos that I'm calling 5 Minutes with First John. In these videos, I'm going to be doing a short Bible study series on the letter of First John in the New Testament. Hopefully, some of you already had the chance to read through First John in the week after Easter. We sent out a devotional that would allow you to read through the entire letter of First John over the 8 days beginning Easter Sunday. But if not, we're going to read it together also as part of these videos in this short series. And the goal here is to maybe go a little bit deeper and to give you an opportunity to have another way of engaging with the scriptures in this season of being away from our buildings. Today, I'm going to introduce the letter itself and just talk a little bit about the opening and what the letter is about and some of the major themes in First John. And then in our next session, we'll actually start to look at some of the passages itself. And we're going to go through one chapter at a time, and about each segment, we'll do one chapter. The letter of First John, one of its most interesting features is that it doesn't sound very much like a letter. Here's the beginning in the NRSV translation. This is First John chapter 1, starting with verse 1. We declare to you what was from the beginning, what we have heard, what we have seen with our eyes, what we have looked at and touched with our hands concerning the word of life. That's the first verse of First John chapter 1. Compare that, just for a brief example, with the first verse of the second letter of John, 2 John chapter, well, the first verse. There's no chapters in 2 John. The elder to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in the truth, and not only I, but also all who know the truth. Although we don't get a name there, that second example is much more like what we see in letters. In the New Testament, in ancient times, a letter was begun with the person identifying him or herself. Mark, to so-and-so. Rather than in our day, we say, Dear Mark, and then we put our name at the end of a letter. In the ancient world, the New Testament world, it was common to put the person who was writing first, and then the address to the recipient. But we get neither of those at the beginning of First John. In fact, among the books of the New Testament that are called epistles or letters, First John is the only one, except for Hebrews, where we don't get some sort of address at the beginning. And that really makes it very different as a letter. And some people have even wondered whether, in fact, it is a letter to begin with. From very early on in the church's history, in fact, some people have called it a treatise. More recently, a very famous New Testament scholar named Raymond Brown basically proposed that First John is a kind of commentary almost on the Gospel of John. And certainly we do see that there is a significant relationship between the letter of First John and the Gospel of John. They have similar language, similar themes. Even that beginning, we declare to you what was from the beginning, sounds a lot like John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. I'm not sure I'd go so far as to say it's a commentary. Certainly in First John, we have examples of the author being very clear that he is writing something to someone he's not seeing, especially in First John chapter 2. But I do think it reads a little bit like a sermon. And I wonder if maybe it is a kind of a sermon that was included with another letter where we got the address part, the introduction. And what we have left is the sermon part, the meat of the letter that maybe he hoped would be read to this group of people. Certainly among preachers, First John has been very, very popular. Both Augustine and John Wesley turned to First John frequently, and it was quite possibly John Wesley's favorite book in the New Testament. And when you read through and look at the themes, you can understand why. There's a major theme about the importance of Jesus and his significance and the importance of having faith in Jesus Christ. And then there's the second theme of love, God's love for us and our love for God and for our brother and sister in Christ. And I think it is those two themes that really make this letter speak clearly to our own day and age, when we are challenged to maintain our faith in Jesus Christ, and also when we are realizing again how important it is for us to love one another. So I invite you into this journey with me through the first letter of John, 5 minutes with First John, and we'll continue in our next video by looking at John chapter 1. Between now and then, I certainly invite you to read through John 1 as we continue in this study together. Blessings.